Hey guys, welcome to the new Wellness and More of You page. I so appreciate you being here and on this journey with me of inner healing and strength through trials, tribulations, and weaknesses. And I just want to share a little bit of my bio of why I've got to where I am today and how I remain completely open and humble in receiving every day. It is a joy and a privilege and an honor to be here to know each and every one of you and be connected with you. It's just such, in itself, a healing modality, relationships. And I love deeply from the very beginning of my life. It was a battle right from the beginning, and I love concentrating on generational issues because that was my issue. When you get to the root of the matter of things and how you see in a family how sometimes things fall harder on some siblings than others, and you wonder why. You wonder how can the same parents um, have so completely different children, different, totally opposite personalities and things like that. And so I am very humbled to share some of the things I've gathered along the way. And the second part, and maybe possibly the third part of Wellness and More of You, will be coming up in short videos. I don't like to take too long, um, and so they'll be broken up in smaller segments because there is a lot of chapters to Wellness and More of You. So thank you for being here again. Some of the questions is how did I get to where I am? And honestly, the Creator is with us all, and we're all in different places in our understanding and reaching out in understanding of more of Him. And I never want to offend anybody by things I say, but I'm just sharing my testimony of how it worked for me and having the open door to understand, asking for that when I was completely at my end and asking, okay, I'm asking, right? In my prayer, I'm saying this, okay, I'm asking, show me. And so as I remained quiet and still in tremendous amount of emotional pain, wounded pain in my heart, my spirit, I believe are connected very closely. And in that crashing time was the death of all of my, I don't want to say modalities, but all of my thought processes, conclusions, and reasonings. And it came to a point where it was done. God's like, yay, I've been waiting for you to be done. And I was just having my third child, and it was rough, but it was the most glorious thing that ever happened. Was that breaking, was that com- um, point where you just couldn't go any further. And so I reached out, and there were beautiful, God put to with me beautiful counselors, and you know what, they didn't counsel, they just listened. And the greatest thing is to listen, right? Just to listen and validate. It validates people. And so when I talk about the four levels of healing with Wellness and More of You, spiritual is number one, right? So we have all these self-help books, and people might categorize Wellness and More of You as a self-help thing. And it may look like that, but seriously, there is no help outside of God. There isn't. All wisdom comes from him. He created all things. And so we go to the source, right? We go to the source. He's the source, and he puts downloads, and he's wanting to be one with us. In John 17, before Christ died, he said, I wish that they'd be one. I pray that they be one as you and I are one. That's the whole goal and desire of our creator, that he'd be one with his people, right? And so being one with him opens up understanding, and wisdom comes, and so the spiritual is first, and then your emotions come from your mental mindset, right? Or from triggers from wounded places. And so I made a chart. I'm going to try to bring it down here. I don't know if you can see like the opposite way of my chart, but here's your spirit man, right? And so these triggers in our soul, see how different it's set apart from the spirit man. And so the triggers are the wounded places. And the Lord said to me this, he said, Kathy, I will stir up what I want when. I'm potter, you're the clay. And I know your frame. I know what makes you tick. And I'm sharing this with you, speaking to you right now, to the person watching this. God knows you're being more than you do. He loves you unconditionally. And he all he wants is that open door, right? And so I can work with people that aren't connected with the Spirit of God. Why? Because God is still with you. God is still with every person. He's with every person. He wants that door open, yes, but he can't barge that door open. It has to be opened on your side. And so God, that's what I did when I crashed. And then I asked God to come in. And so as I'm going on my journey, I'm saying, God, what is going on in my soul, my mind and emotions? What's going on? Why am I so triggered? And then he showed me this chart. Well, you're one with me, but we have to heal you up, right? And so this helped me so much. And so once the Lord wants to heal, he comes in from the outside or he'll come in from the inside. And as soon as you surrender that mindset, which is a belief about you, because pain, emotional pain, is a belief about you. You can go back, and this is true, I can go back to a memory that was painful and the pain is gone. Why? Because I addressed a belief about myself. So inside the cup, let me see where that is. Right here. Inside the cup, right here. The cup is the memory. And what's inside that cup is your belief. Something negative about you that you're hanging on to, you're believing. That's where the emotional pain comes from. And so we in therapy, we identify what you're believing about yourself, right? That's a very true belief. Like beliefs are very true to you. Whether they're true or not doesn't matter. If you believe it, to you it's true. And so it's very important that the person you're sharing with understands that. It's very true to you. And so what is the one thing left to do with something that you believe? You can't unbelieve it. You can't even really counsel it. But what is the one thing you can do? You can throw it away. Now, there could be reasons why you don't want to throw that thing away. That's what needs to be uncovered. If there's walls and blocks and reasonings and conclusions around a certain thing you're believing, we identify that. Now, it's going to be up to us in our will if we want to hang on to that or not. And this is what happens in the spiritual realm, emotionally, mentally, that affects our bodies. So you can take any physical condition and you we can uncover the root reason why that condition is there. I'm not here to diagnose. I'm not a doctor to do that and to say, take this, take that. But we can energetically identify what's going on. It could have been a generational thing handed down, So I say, go to the doctor, find out what's going on. We need them. We need doctors. And when all of this training comes together and starts working together, the hospital that is local has a whole list of practitioners that are alternative care, because we're needing to come together to supply the modality of healing that can only come from God, and the help of many other things that God has created to heal the body. And so that's what Wellness and More, and how every single day I'm working on me. I'm working on eating better. I'm working on thinking better. I'm working on taking care of any triggers that are coming on my way, right? And I'm finding that people are having a really hard time taking time for themselves. So, guys, that quiet time for you with God, that understanding is my prayer that comes down, and God will put people together to help support one another. And that's like what I love to do. I love that. I love supporting people in their process. That's what he did for me. And the understanding of the different modalities he's given through Wellness and More of You is coming up next. It is a joy and a pleasure, guys. It is one thing when, after 5 years of really just going through that therapy and getting stable in who I was, and liking ourselves is huge. He doesn't make junk. God does not make junk. He is our creator, and he's perfect. He creates us perfectly in his image, and we are a part of him that will never exist again. Even twins or triplets, or each person is so unique and special to him. And so, bless you, and as you take in and drink in more of you, liking yourself more and more, the way that how God sees you, how he feels about you. May the Spirit of God come in, rest within your heart and your spirit, man. Bring forth that healing in all the triggered areas of our soul. Calm ourselves down, because where he is, there's peace in any storm. I hope to hear from you guys. Check out my next video on the modalities of Wellness and More of You, where he is the center of all things. God bless you. I love you much. Thanks for being here.